Alright, today we have a click that we're going to have to make. It failed in this clock. Customer brought it in. Now this is a Samsung. I can't make out those other letters. K-E-C, possibly, made in Korea. They're not the best made clocks, and I've heard some guys say they won't even deal with them, but I find it important to take care of people's clocks. I had a customer once come in tears. She was in tears because somebody told her clock was a piece of junk, and what she told me was the clock came from her grandmother, and she thought of her grandmother every time she ran the clock or was looking at the clock. So it's not up to me in what I do and what's important or what's valuable. So regardless, this fellow wants this clock rebuilt. We're gonna this click had failed, and I don't know if you can see that piece in there. It might be hard to see, but the tip of this click is busted or worn off. We're gonna take that off. Now the problem here, this is all pushed on, pressed on here, and then it has this shield back here, so I can't get at that piece. I can't get at the rivet. We're going to cut this off on the lathe here, and we'll show you as I go. We're going to test that. There we go, it just popped off. So you cut as little as possible of that brass, and this will pop apart. Now there's some other American movements, different movements that will have similar setup where you might have to do the same thing. Also, if you have to work on a great wheel, maybe do a great wheel reversal or something, you may have to do that same sort of trick in just cutting a little bit of that brass off of there to get it apart. Alright, now you might want to reference your wheel on how that goes back on, because once you get it all apart, it might get a little confusing. So this will slide right out of there. And then we're going to take this spring off. Let's see. These can be a bugger sometimes. Don't bend it too far. Pull that little spring off. Now we can get at this free and clear. I'm going to just do a little center punch. We'll center punch this back side of this rivet, and then we'll just drill that out. We'll use an oversized drill bit to cut a good chamfer in it, and then it'll we'll be able to punch it right out. So, if we get it close, we'll be fine. Now you'll see the drill bit I'm using is plenty big for that, quite a bit bigger, but that's okay. I'm going to want that. You'll see why here. Okay, now you can see how much bigger that is just touching the brass here. A little tap. Gotta put that right through. There we go. Okay, I found some 01 flat ground stock Star oil hardening flat stock. That is going to work really well. It's probably going to be much better than whatever steel was used in here. That is, if I make it right. 1.17, 1.17. It's the same. All right. Well, as a lot of projects go, never goes as planned. I had an assortment of clicks, not clicks, but rivets for the click, but none of them were the right size. So we're gonna focus on making up a little rivet here, a little steel rivet to match the other one. I made a quick little drawing with some measurements. Overall length of this piece, or the very end of it, is not critical. That can be trimmed off later. I got everything set up. Face this off. And that fits just right. Yeah, that's just right. Okay. Now, all we got to do is cut that off. Okay, I'm just going to line up. You guys probably can't see much of this. So there I'm cut off. And I'm just going to line up my bit with my previous mark from turning this. 0. And then we'll just face this off. Now I might have to clean this up a little bit. Nice little rivet. Now we drilled a hole in our steel, stuck our rivet through, and that's going to give us a little holder to mark this out. Let's put that mark in there. Okay, after some rough grinding, just cutting it out, grinding it rough, we're pretty close. I don't know if you can see that or not, but pretty close. I'm gonna chuck it up in the the vise and finish file it. Okay, it looks like everything's clearing. I want to make sure, where's my tweezers? I want to make sure this is clearing right here. The important part of your click is this leading edge here, so that when it locks, it doesn't want to push itself out, it wants to draw itself in. So there are some rules to all that. I'm fortunate here, I'm able to match up. So as long as that isn't wanting to push itself out when there's force applied, and everything clears and it clicks into place. It appears to be doing exactly that, locking itself in there. So on. Now, of course, that's without everything. I'm going to file this up a little bit more and smooth out these edges. Smoothing out your steel is going to help keep it from tearing or breaking in any certain spot. And then it'll run smooth on the brass here too, if it happens to get in a spot where it might want to catch the edge. So just round it over these edges a little bit with a fine file. And maybe even a buffing. Use that liquid steel blue on the steel because it turns it more black than if I was using heat. So let's put this together. Here's the new parts, old and new. I wanted to mention these two little pieces. This is one I use on some smaller rivets, smaller clicks. Piece of old mainspring, this piece of suspension spring. Just cut a slot in there, rounded it off so that it'll tuck up underneath the click or the head of the rivet and keep it from smashing all the way down. Even though we made the click rivet to have that extra little space in here, when we hammer it down, it may push that little extra space into our hole, you know, and it'll tighten up that click. Last thing you want to do, because then you got to rip it all apart and start over. So tuck this up underneath our click. Get under there. And then when we hammer that down, we pull that piece out and we'll have that little space. Plenty of rivet. I'm going to trim a little bit of that. Just a little bit. There. Okay. We have this shield coming over anyway, but some don't have that. You want to make sure you get this down in there properly so it doesn't catch the mainspring. Okay. Put that down just a little bit more. That's in there pretty snug. Okay, I don't think that's going anywhere. Now we pull this out. And we got a free moving click. Look at that. Now we can test this. Nice. Real quick. Just hold it together. Give it a few turns. You can see that. Looks like my lighting is bad. Check and make sure it doesn't want to pop out. It runs smoothly. While I have this apart, I did clean up some burrs on this ratchet wheel. Okay, and we cleaned up the parts quickly. So, let's put our shield on. Make sure that's on there. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to use this. So we get our shield on there, and then we're just going to try and hold that. It's going to be a challenge. Give it a little test. Want to check it both directions. Functions good. Free to move. Everything looks good. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.